Howdy. Welcome back to Journeyman Online Outdoor School. It's a beautiful day today, and I thought I would go outside and go for a hike, even with these safer at home rules that we're now encouraged to follow in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19 coronavirus. We are still allowed to hike, and thank God, because I need some space outdoor. I need the fresh air in order to keep my sanity and also just to get a little exercise. So I'm on a hike right now. It's a little bit windy, but it's beautiful out, and I thought I'd take you on the trail with me a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit of discovery. The exact same thing that I do when I lead a hike with adults and kids. So let's start hiking. Butterfly. Hi, butterfly. Uh-oh. Butterfly's coming right at me. Beautiful view. That's Burbank out there. Those are the Verdugo Mountains. Here's Griffith Park. You see that radio tower up there. Right on the other side is the Hollywood sign. Some beautiful flowers coming in here. Look at these babies. Now, the thing that I do when I'm leading a hike is a 3-step process of discovery. And it's really a scientific process, but not a really difficult one. The first step is to say, I notice. Now, we're always noticing things, obviously. We're not always putting a special focus on the things that we notice, though. So, right now, I'm gonna notice something in particular and explore it a little bit, get to know it a little bit. So I'm noticing this plant right here. This little plant right here. I noticed this plant. First step, pretty easy. Second step, I wonder. So I notice this plant. I wonder, why is it pale green? Why doesn't it have leaves? Why are they just sort of long strands? Why is it growing on a steep slope like that? Why are some parts of it really dry and some parts of it not at all? So, first step, I notice. Second step, I wonder. We start asking questions about it. Third step, it reminds me of. So nothing, no plant, no animal, nothing on this planet lives on an island, except maybe literally an island. But even on that island, all the plants and animals are related to each other. They're all connected somehow. So when we ask the question, it reminds me of, we start to make those connections and maybe make connections to things in our everyday life. So this plant, what does it remind me of? It reminds me kind of rosemary. It looks similar to rosemary, right? Or maybe even lavender. I'm gonna smell it here. I'm gonna do the method of rubbing my fingers with it and then smell it. It smells wonderful. So it kind of reminds me of sage, like the white sage we had. I did a video of the other day. So we're not even gonna talk about necessarily what plant this is. We're just exploring it. We're getting to know it. Its name is sort of secondary. We can look that up. It's kind of fun to know those things, but it's more about figuring out what the plant is like rather than just memorizing a name. Now, I happen to know the name of this plant. It is a California sagebrush. I love this plant. It smells so good. It reminds me of growing up. These plants grow all over the California coastal ranges, including the area where I grew up in, including in Southern California where I live now. And that's another thing that you can dry and burn as well to create positive energy, positive space, healing energy, just like sage. But it is a sagebrush, and its nickname is cowboy cologne because back in the day, if you were a cowboy and you were out on the open range for who knows how many weeks without any access to a bath, you might not smell so great, right? So cowboys used to take this plant and rub it on their skin and maybe put a little sprig of it on their jacket here, make themselves smell a little nicer when they're going into town, so they're a little more presentable. Cowboy cologne, right? All right, let's keep hiking. Look at this. These flowers coming in. Ceanothus, the name of this plant. Ooh, what do we have here? Something that smells really nice. Something that has some little purple flowers coming in. This smells really good. Kind of has a black stem. It smells really good. It's actually black sage in the family of the white sage we showed the other day. Howdy.
Mom, that's a pop.
I know, but that's basic.
This plant right here. This has a nickname, and it's called taco bush. See those leaves kind of shaped like hard taco shells. Its real name is laurel sumac. Back on the trail, lots of sagebrush here. Look at this giant sagebrush bush here. Very nice. Let's check out this plant over here. See right there? All the little buds, it's just about to have flowers. This is called a blue elder, or an elderberry, which you may have heard of. We make jams out of it, we make supplements out of it, tea out of elderberry. Deer love elderberry, birds love elderberry. We got a whole sea of these yellow flowers here. You've probably seen these around. Black mustard, not native to California, very invasive. They grow fast and push native plants out. Let's go check this out over here. There's a little grove here of yucca. Spiky. Definitely spiky. There's some flowers, old flowers of yucca. This is the yucca right here. Now, the native Tongva people used yucca in a number of ways. Firstly, the root can be cooked and eaten. But what other ways could we maybe use these spiky, long leaves that they have? The spike on the end is kind of like a needle. So it could be used for sewing or anything where you need a sharp edge. Another thing they use it for, because it's such a strong plant, strong leaf, is that it was used for making ropes. And hopefully in the future, maybe I can do a video to show you how to make rope with it. But when you pound out the leaves, first it releases the green chlorophyll, and it kind of creates like a soap almost. And what you're left with are these long white strands, which can then be dried and then woven and turned into a rope. So multiple uses. The Tongva people who are here for thousands of years, so they figured out all the ways to use the different plants that were around here, including the yucca. Lovely views. Let's hike a little more. What's this? People leaving their doggy bags out on the trail. I always pick up trash when I'm on the trail. You leave no trace. Even if we didn't leave that trace, even if I didn't leave that bag there, I want to leave it a better place. I want to leave it better than I found it. Ooh, look at this right here. Look at these flowers just about to bloom. This is California buckwheat. This buckwheat that grows wild all over Southern California is in the same family as the buckwheat that you might have in your pancakes. Yummy. So we had 3 steps of discovery that we went through. Number 1, I notice. Number 2, I wonder. Number 3, it reminds me of. So we're noticing things, we're asking questions, we're getting to know these plants. One thing I definitely noticed throughout is there's a lot of flowers that are just starting to come in, and the first day of spring was a couple days ago. So it's a new season. It's a season of growth and rebirth and life. And I like to think that that's a vibe that we can bring into our lives, our everyday lives right now with everything that's going on in the world. Some positivity and growth. So I'll come back here with you all and do another video in a couple weeks so we can check out some of these flowers as they're blooming and witness the rebirth in real life, or at least through video. So I hope you're doing well wherever you are right now. You're staying safe out there. I'll catch you on another video soon. And until then, stay safe.